Okay, hi once again. So this is daily outlook for what? For Nasdaq and SP500. So today we have FOMC later in the day, so I will be trading the AM session, and then if I have any other trade, I will be holding it. I will not be holding. I mean, I will have closed maybe 80% of my partials by the time FOMC is coming. So I might leave at 20% to hold. So uh, also on Nasdaq and SP500, I'm not taking a lot of time on the daily chart. I already did that yesterday. Nothing has changed. Yesterday displaced as expected, although we did not really get a good setup. So we had that bearish displacement on both assets. So that's a good sign. Uh, what's happening here? I have not deleted the setup from yesterday. So just a minute. Okay, so yeah, uh, these are the levels we want to see, especially right now we have these important relative equal lows hanging right here. So that is a very strong draw on liquidity. So looking into what is happening right now on the 4-hour chart. So remember, those are my targets. Remember that my targets are just resting below there. The draws on liquidity, the weekly draws on liquidity have not been reached yet. So I will keep looking for sales. Okay, so now to the 4-hour chart to see if we have a good setup forming, and you will notice that we have this premium week that has formed right here. So you can see that this week entered an area of imbalance, so that is a very good sign, and we are still respecting this NWOG mid, the consequent encroachment of this new week opening up. So that's a good sign still, and looking at this is where we should try to frame our entries from. But I will not be trading this session here, so I will wait for that for the next AM session, the New York AM session. So on the 1-hour chart, you will notice that we have a previous day high, the previous session high right here. So we can mark that, and if price can sweep that, it will be good on one of the assets, and then we can look for a good setup there. So we can mark that as our buy side liquidities. I think that high has to go before we displace to the downside. So that's a buy side liquidity. Yesterday I got a break-even trade on SP500, and then the loss that I took on gold got stopped. Oh no, it got invalidated. So we kind of, so yeah, uh, you can see this is the previous day high, but I do not expect price to go all the way here. So we have a daily SMT. It's not really a daily SMT, but we have an SMT between this high and this high, and that is what we need to have marked out so that we can observe those levels. So that level, uh, SMT, then on this other side we had a higher high forming. Okay, so you can see this higher high situation that formed here. So that is one of the signatures that price gives us when it wants to drop lower. So that's an SMT, so it means that the cleaner setup should come from Nasdaq, but that could change even before 9:30, so we will just be observing. So with this, now I am just waiting for 9:30. If 9:30 can sweep this and hold this, or sweep this high on one of the assets, so we can sweep one of the highs on one of the assets, and then I will start looking for positions. So yeah, that's basically it. This high has to go at least on one of the assets, at least on one of the assets. Yesterday's high, PM session, not PM session, Tuesday's 8 p.m. high has to go on one of these assets. So yeah, um, I have nothing else here. It's just to wait for 9:30. Let's see if 9:30 sweeps liquidity, buy side liquidity on at least one of these two, then I will be looking for entries. So yeah, yes, I actually think SP500 will be the one sweeping, and this is also what I told you yesterday. SP500 was the one that swept, and we got an entry, and we were able to get an entry here. So let me just show you that entry real quick. So this was the entry. uh yes, I think this was the entry. Yes, 5-minute change in state right here. and then yes, at 9:15, then 9:30 open, gave us this whole setup right here. So from that angle we were able to get a very clean setup. And oh, that's the 15 minutes, sorry about that. Let's use the 5 minutes. It was on the 5 minute, it was on the 5 minute. Yes, better. Yeah, so this was the change in state right here. You can see these were the last up close candles in this piece of price action. So we had that uh those uh nini, the previous highs. Sijui nimetoa wapi homa. So we had these consecutive candles to the upside at 8:30, 8:45. So and then they were traded against right here at 9:25. So as soon as that happened, that became a 5 minute change in state of delivery. So my setup was after the 9:30. So as it was opening the 9:30 candle, that is where we got in at 9:35, and then stop loss just above this high. My first target was this set of lows here. Okay, so those were my first targets, which was a very clean 1 point what 1.8 r 1.8 setup. That was a very good setup. So yes, uh that was the setup we took yesterday, but I kind of got a late entry. We kind of got a late entry, so my entry was below here 7407. So we took partials here and then held the rest, which were then stopped out. So as you can see, price reversed all the way to the upside. So uh, it happened that the partials, if you take 50% partials here, and then price stops you out on full stop loss, because I did not trail my stop loss yet when it took us out. So it went with the profits we had made. So it was a break-even trade for me on Nasdaq and SP500 because of that particular trade. So yeah, today same thing. Just waiting to see this high being swept on one of the assets, which I think most likely is Nasdaq, SP500 I mean. And then maybe this will protect its high, which is a protected high, or we could see a change in strength. Then this could hold, and then Nasdaq could sweep. So if we do that, we will be taking that trade on the stronger asset. So yeah, that's it for today. Like I said, it's a quick one because we are just building on the narrative that we did yesterday, the weekly and the daily. So right now we are just playing with the 1 hour and 4 hour charts to look for trades in our direction of the weekly draw on liquidity and daily draw on liquidity. So yeah, that's it. Have a good day ahead.